Hi everyone, sorry but I've just realised I didn't do an intro for this one, so this is me straight off talking about All Star Sports. Enjoy. I want to talk about All Star Sports. Before I went, I wasn't really sure what it would be like. I booked the trip through Virgin. I normally book my trips through them to America because I really like their service and I like the staff. I had no problems at all booking it. I wasn't really sure which resort to go for, with it being my first trip. I saw the All-Star ones come up when I did the search, and I had heard of those, so I went for those. They weren't the cheapest, they weren't the most expensive, but I had heard of them and I chose All-Stars. I stayed at All-Stars Sports that hasn't been fully renovated as yet, and I wasn't sure which kind of room that I would get, but I did get one of their standard original rooms, which I was very happy with. It had the border with all of the Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, all of the Disney figures on. It had the original walls, which were fine. It had the original little cabinet and TV, which was absolutely fine for my use, and I was happy with that. Had a lovely painting on the wall with Goofy shouting through a megaphone. It had the original closet, which was big, which I like. Had an ironing board, an iron, a hairdryer, oodles of towels. It had the little safe that was absolutely fine for my tiny little laptop and my passport and all the valuables that I needed to lock away. I didn't have any problems losing the key. That was absolutely fine, but be aware it does have a key and you do need to make sure you don't lose it because you do get charged. The bathroom was brilliant. It had a tub, which I wanted. It had an aid for me to get in and out of the tub, even though I didn't ask for a mobility room. It was absolutely fine getting in and out. It had the H2O products, which were lovely. I used all of them. Plenty of soap, plenty of towels, absolutely no problem at all. And above all, it was really, really clean. I couldn't fault the cleanness at all. It was great. Air conditioning was absolutely fine. TV was fine. They had a coffee maker, which was brilliant because I love a coffee in the morning. And they had the Joffrey's coffee, which was really nice. They cleaned the room every other day. And so that was a bit of a thing for me because some days I just wanted to sleep, but I knew I had to be up because they were going to come in and clean the room, but that's by the by. They checked on the room every other day just to make sure everything was okay, which was brilliant because on your own, you want someone to be able to come in and check your room. I couldn't fault the staff. They said good morning, they said good evening, they said if you had a nice day. They just couldn't be more pleasant. I found it absolutely brilliant. I don't know what else you'd want to do in your resort besides sleeping and having a clean room and having a coffee and a TV and plenty of place to put your luggage and everything. I don't see why you would pay any more, but that's personal. I suppose if you've got a big family you might want more room, but I found it absolutely fine. I wasn't bothered that I didn't have one of the new rooms, to be honest, because I find the new layouts to be quite sterile looking. The only thing would be if you'd want different things to eat. I tried all of the menus. The food was fine. It wasn't overly adventurous though, and they could have done with a bit more seasoning in some of them. But it had all the things that you possibly want. It had cereal if you wanted cereal in the morning. It had pancakes were delicious. It had sausage, bacon, eggs if you wanted those. It had pizza. It had ice cream. It had plenty of coffee and tea and juice, and even had a microwave if you wanted to use a microwave. It had a toaster if you wanted to do your own toast. There was absolutely no problem with you putting your own bread in and making your own toast if you wanted to. The little shops were really good because you could buy little things if you fancied a little treat. You could buy them. I had the arcade. I only went in the arcade once just to see what it was like, but I didn't use the arcade myself. I did get some of the coin presses because I was collecting coin presses from around the park. They had a cash machine, which was brilliant. They had the charging booth that you could get a charger from and replace it, which was godsend if you didn't have a charger, but I took my own charger with me. The buses ran on a regular basis, no issues with buses. They had a pool that was lovely. I did use the pool. They had a laundry, which was fantastic, and I had no problems with that, except I found some other people's socks. They had a snack machine, though, that took my money and didn't give me anything and then decided to reboot itself, so I'm not sure what was going on with that. All in all, I found that it was a really good resort. I didn't want anything flashy. I didn't need anything flashy. I suppose if you want spas and beauty salons and all those kind of things, then you'd have to go to a more upmarket resort. To me, it was a really good resort. It was much better than the previous resort I'd stayed at when I stayed at Universal, but I'll not really go into that too much. It had everything, because to me, if you're going to Disney and you're staying on a Disney resort, the main thing is that you're wanting to go to the parks. The only downside, I think, is if you're wanting to go to somewhere like Walmart or you're wanting to go to Universal. I found that it was quite expensive for me to go to those. I used the Lyft app to get outside the bubble, but it was quite expensive just for me. Those of you a family or you're 4 adults going, it's peanuts. I had no troubles at all with the drivers, and they well deserved the tips that I gave them. And yes, I have no issues with All Star Sports. I would recommend it. I don't see you need all the bells and whistles, unless, of course, you've got lots of money and you want all the bells and whistles so that you can have spas and what have you. Then, obviously, you would go to a different kind of resort. Thumbs up to All Star. So that's my report. I hope it helps you if you're choosing a resort. And if you really want to stay at the All Stars, then music and movies have already been refurbished if you want the new rooms. Have no problems staying in the original rooms at All Star. I hope you've enjoyed it. Again, if you have found it useful, put the thumbs up, subscribe if you want to subscribe, and enjoy your Disney vacation. Bye-bye.